Just go through the website. Hey, what's up, dude? So install Storybook. Today I'm setting up a component library. No biggie, dude. How many hours do you work on a day? Are you talking about coding? Are you talking about freelancing? To set a project manually, we can do this slow start guide. So I think it should add some stuff to our package.json. Yeah, build, and then we can Storybook. So I'm guessing it's gonna not be able to find it. So how many hours am I on the computer? I would say 10-ish. Okay, that was definitely a thing they added, right? There we go, to the stories. I was gonna say, that's not my button. So now let's add TypeScript. How many hours would you say you work? Just a few dependencies we need to add here. So we already added that. Yep, let's just jam all of these. We're not testing, so I think we can skip that. Something like 14 hours. Yeah, that's a lot of time on your eyes. I try to, like, if I'm doing it for that long, at least break it up in the middle. So I actually started to look into TypeScript because I see you using all your vids and started a course on it. I kind of see how it can help, but there's some things I'm curious on. Can you explain enums, for example? Like, why would you want to use them? I don't think I actually use enums in TypeScript at all to this point. You pretty much use them though if you don't want to, like, if you want to map it to, like, mapping numbers to a string that makes sense in your application. But I don't really use them. Now and then it, like, comes up to be useful, but and let me ask you this. Are you learning React and TypeScript at the same time, or are you learning TypeScript after you already know some React? Yeah, that's kind of the same way I did it as well, as I learned TypeScript after I already had known React for a while. Did you try flow at all? I'm looking into hooks, but it's pretty much makes sense. Not going to look into too avidly as I know the API might change. Yeah, that's where I'm kind of at here. I'm actually like questioning. I might use it in this project because hooks just like I know I'm going to be using like nested either higher order components or rendered props with Apollo. So I'm thinking I might try the Apollo hooks library that's out. Just like to avoid having to deal with that. That's fine, we'll leave this. Now I imagine I have to redo this. Actually, let's make sure it gets our change. Cannot find async. Yeah, I tend to learn too many things myself. And a lot of it I really probably don't need. And you're right, there's like stuff that's coming out all the time now. I don't know, I guess I have a little bit of, I like playing around with the new stuff, but then a lot of times I won't end up using it. Demo. Could find a declaration file for the module. Did we not install that? So here's a funny thing. Copy and pasting doesn't work in this for me. But if I go here, it does. What hobbies do I have, or what do you do on breaks? I'd say I pretty much do I just need to install this? One second, I'll answer your question. I just want to see where this is. Okay, so his is coming from add-on action. Let's see where mine is coming from. I don't think any of this stuff matters. I think what matters is right here. I feel like it could be a tsconfig flag that I have messed up. I kind of want to just copy one of their examples. Outside of programming, pretty much the main thing that I do is go to the gym. I got this set up a while ago, but I haven't set up recently. And then you could say like YouTube is kind of programming, but it's also different than what I usually do. Why do you not use Lodash at all? I sometimes use Lodash, but if I don't need it, I won't add it. A lot of times I only would need like a function or two. The package in general is really big, So you want to just like install one or two. Anyway, we're back to the same file. One or two like basically just functions that they have. You can install them as individual packages. It's like sort by is one of the ones I usually install, and so you can just install it like this. So that's what I usually will do. This is what I was missing. They add so many libraries. The Webpack picked just what you need, no? I think you can set it up that way. So that's a good point. You can set up your Webpack to handle that for you. All right, so we did that. You know what, let's just copy the entire thing. I'm cool with that. We'll set that up in a second, I think. Also, sorry for the questions. No worries. I like asking. I like answering questions. You can keep them coming, because you're probably trying to focus. But what mic do you use? I want to start recording too. Christmas is coming out. Also, how are you switching views around? Like, are you not using Command Tab? Is that right? It's a screen. Yeah. So right now, what I'm using is OBS for the capture this, and then to switch between screens. If I hit Control arrow up. I have 3 desktops. Here I have OBS over here. And then I basically just have the chat next to it so I can see the chat. And then I have Chrome over here. And to switch between them, I use Control arrow left and right. And you can visualize what they look like by going arrow up. And then for mics, I can't remember what I use actually. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Audio Technica mic. So currently I'm using one of these mics. This one. The ATR 2100. And this works pretty well. That's what you're listening to right now. It's pretty quiet. And then I also have an Instructor Egghead mic. Let's see, where is there set up the audio? Which uses this mic. I think they talk about, here's the microphone. This one has a little bit more static, so I'm not using that one right now because I want to take this video and put it directly on YouTube. Also, I don't think adding libraries is a big issue today for performance. Why do you say that? And I mean, in general, if I need, we failed to compile. What? Why is it asking for TypeScript types? Maybe because we didn't add async iterator. in general, if it's very easy not to add a library, then I won't. If it's going to take a lot of work, then I will go ahead and add a library. I feel like I'm doing something silly. So my add-ons I have as a .js. Let's see if there's anything I missed from following the guide. I'm guessing we don't have types for this. What do we do? I'm guessing I didn't add types for this. Though it didn't mention it. Hey Adam, I'm doing well. How are you? What are you up to? All right, let's look at the error one more time. Yep, could not find declaration file for add-on actions. Okay, so it's for sure cannot find that. And for the links. And then there's also this thing with this demo. All right, so let's start by installing those two. I'm not sure why it didn't automatically tell us to add that. Oh, I didn't copy. Dang it, it's not copying. I guess we'll just have to do this the hard way. Completed a coding bootcamp at UT a while back. I'm fleshing out a startup idea at ATM with my friend and likely co-founder. Nice. So UT, is it UC Austin? Do they have like a, I didn't know they have like a coding bootcamp. That's pretty cool. So how far along are you with your startup idea? Have you guys started prototyping at all? Yeah, I have been doing a lot of YouTube lately. Could not find. What is this madness? Alright, has this ever been updated? No. Baseline prototyping, but we are confronting potential patent issues. So you're running into patent issues like there's already patents out for what you guys want to create? Alright, this looks like a recent project. Nice. Ah, that's why I put it in the wrong directory. Well, that's annoying. Yikes. So wait, can you guys do anything about the patents? Oh, I see. So are you like consulting with a lawyer or something to see? Dang. If you guys like are able to get past it. Alright man, I'll see ya. So where does that come from? Alright, it comes from Storybook. No. So what is our main storybook? Storybook React? I'm not sure where I would get this from. I think I need to install like a base storybook package or something. Where do you usually put the style of a component in the same file or create another just for the style? It depends. Usually what I'll do is what I'm doing right now is setting up a whole directory of basically a library of components. So in this case, what I'm planning on doing, I guess where stories are going to be there, then we're going to have source, and I guess let's put we have a components folder. So what I'm planning on doing is a structure like this. I think I just need a single file, so like button.tsx, and in here we're gonna have a button. And then we can either apply the styles directly on that like that, or I might add styled components. I was gonna try out styled JSX, but if I'm gonna just make a component library, I might as well use styled components. So we'll probably be setting that up. We just need to get this one last part working. Let's just try importing it from the Storybook React for a second. All right, nice. That's where it needs to come from. I guess I just wasn't paying attention. It probably was in there. All right, so the compile passed. Now our new problem is we're not seeing anything here. Yeah, usually a good way to do it is to split out your styles with your component and create like components that you can reuse the styles with. I don't see anything failing here. Okay, it's looking for .stories.tx, so we're just looking for the wrong thing. Let's just grab all the .tsx files. All right, back to this. I think we have the types for React. Yeah, we do. I was thinking that might have fixed it because it looks like it's doing it, checking the types inside of this repository. Could not find a declaration file for at. I'm not using that though. Oh my gosh, I am using that. It's this thing it can't find. Sigh. Why do you use semicolons? I'm chill with them. I'm kind of fine whether they're there, whether they're not there. Do I need a restart? I remove that. All right, we're getting closer and closer. So this synthetic default imports causes problems sometimes. So I'm gonna turn it off. Like right here. Usually it would tell me that that's incorrect. All right. So now we have Storybook set up. I want to do one last thing, and that is getting styled components set up with it. Do I care about this? I don't care, that's fine. This is kind of a weird setup. Is this how I want to do it? Because right now I have this source directory that I don't know if I care about. I'm going to get rid of it, I think, and create a components folder. So now I'm going to have a components folder and a stories folder. Yeah. One thing that I could do also is combine these into one. I think that's what I want to do and not have a stories folder, I think. So here's what's going to happen. So I think I'm going to follow the convention of I'm going to have a button and index, and then I'm going to have a button.story.tsx. And maybe I call this just source now too. We'll do that in a second. For some reason I thought styled components had it built into types. So I want to make sure I can get styled components working, and then I'm just going to change the structure slightly of how this works. So that's fine. That imported really weird. We're not using the Babel plugin for TypeScript or for styled components, so that could cause a problem. And I added this button on emojis, so I can't tell if the text will become red. So let's change that. Actually worked. It's not using Babel, it's using TypeScript though. I think that's fine. We may want to add that later on, but we'll come back if we need to add the Babel RC. It looks like it's working. I'm not going to complain. I'm going to change the structure. I think I like this better. So I'm going to say source components inside of source, and then we're going to have an index. So I'm trying to decide if I want to, how I want to set this up, because I could have a single import. I think I want to make it to where I can import any of these components themselves. So one way I was thinking of doing this was to just like export all from /components. I was expecting this to autocomplete. Okay, it kind of did. I think I have my tsconfig messed up. We're gonna have to fix that in a second. And we're gonna get rid of stories. Yeah, I didn't have, I think because the base URL or something was messing it up. So now we're going to just look for .story.tsconfig, and this is going to be inside of source. I can't imagine that re-rendered, so okay, it's working. Nice. Wasn't expecting it to work, so that's good. Let's see if we need to clean up anything in my package. No. So this is pretty much the structure that we're going to go through to add more components. This is for each component we can add a story to test it out and add an index. Now, instead of exporting from the top here, here's how I would like to import it. So I'd like to import it like that. And then when we have a nav bar, and then we have a header and so forth, that way I can kind of get like fine grain. So that's what we're going to try setting up tomorrow. So that's it for today. Let's commit this code. Set up Storybook with styled components. Alright guys, thanks for watching today. That's it. I'll see you next time.